So there's a lot of themes that are running in my head, and in the end it's always going to be one thing with me. So enchantment was an idea. Enchantment was an idea because of this woman, like Aunt Denise, who really is an enchanting person. She casts a spell on everybody whenever you come into her presence. When she was younger, she was physically gorgeous. She looked like Gina Lollobrigida. I mean, she was curvaceous and gorgeous, and went to med school at a time when women didn't go to med school. I mean, she's 90, It's like she's a very accomplished person, but her accomplishments were more about who she was than who she married and what she owned and all the rest. I'm always enchanted when I get reminded of the truth. I've been reminded of the truth today in some of your faces. I've been reminded of the truth in Elaine's beautiful song. I've been reminded of the truth when I see Dr. Donna, and just I trigger your memory and those songs. See, we are, those of us who take this teaching seriously, truth students. Okay? We practice the presence. There's loads of stories that go on in our day-to-day living. In our class lately, there's a bunch of, you see them spin out, and it's unfortunate that it's what people do. If we can return to love and who and what we are, we're going to be okay. I used to remember the kids used to say, everything's going to be okay. The fact of the matter is, everything is okay. It's always okay. It's so good, it's unbelievable. Everything that's happening in life, we get caught up. We think things are happening to us, and we have to remember that things are happening for us. Every encounter is a holy encounter, bar none. And yet I watch people, they have resentments, and they spin, and they story, they go into all these things. And I marvel at it, sometimes it sickens me. People I love, they spark up. And yet they're truth students. So what do we need to do when we get into a story? The thing about this teaching is you never arrive, right? I mean, we're on a journey. It's a journey without a distance to a place they say perhaps we've never really been for long. That journey, the longest one, from your head to your heart. When we see ourselves making things about other people, there's always an opportunity then and there in that new moment to do it differently. When you see yourself talking about, if you start to name the name of the other person, it's never, never, never going to be about them. It's always going to be about you. Whatever you're seeing in others is really your stuff. From my beloved Louise Hay, who I've taught for over 25 years at this point, or 20, I can't remember, whenever this book was first published, she would say that everybody is doing the best that they can with the information, the understanding, and the awareness that they have. So give them a break. Give them a break. As you can learn to extend that forgiveness to others, my God, guess who is benefited by that? We talk about namaste. Namaste means what?
Divine in me honors the divine in you.
Okay, that's what we teach here. When you find yourself energized in a story, upset about any person, any place, any fact of your life, then do something about it. I start with understanding, okay, that person's doing the best they can. I do know that. Do you know that? If you can live with that, we practice here. We are practitioners. What do practitioners do? They practice. They practice the presence. As soon as you see yourself making a story up, stop in the name of love. Now we need Diana Ross in front of you.
In the name of love.
That's what I'm talking about.
Before you break my heart, go.
Perfect. Do that when you're in those stories. Come on. Right? God, you don't win with being right. being able to talk. You don't win with being right. You really don't. You lose everything with being that right. I try to tend the flock. Good luck with that. You try to control life. I see people do this dance, and it's just... So what does a minister do? Olivia, you're one of my gurus. What do you do when people are in their stories?
The other person or yourself?
Well, the other person. You're the minister.
It's never about the other.
Retreat.
Hey, that's a good idea.
You just said it.
Olivia says you do spiritual mind treatment, okay? And spiritual mind treatment is going to help you, right? Because you are going to get centered in the truth. And you're going to know the truth. I'm glad you brought that up. See, spiritual mind treatment has to be my all-time #1 favorite what?
Activity?
Yeah, thing to talk about. Reason being, I'm going to write something about this subject one day, because I think I'm getting old enough, I'm the only one left that's going to say it. Jane Claypool, who's one of my mentors from Carlsbad, California, said, spiritual mind treatment is the crown jewel of religious science. It is the thing that differentiates us from all the other new thought, what do you want to say, branches. Well, what makes spiritual mind treatment amazing? Does anybody know?
It works.
Simplest answer of all. What makes it amazing, according to Lane, is it works. It works. The time and the day when they started calling spiritual mind treatment affirmations or affirmative prayer, I think they missed the boat. When I was younger, much younger, and I first went to Unity, I learned how to do an affirmation. Does everyone here know what an affirmation is? They're beautiful, right? An affirmation's a beautiful thing, Sandy, right? Olivia, Paul, they're beautiful, right? I've got magnets and Post-its in my house, and they are affirmations. An affirmation, though, is not necessarily what? It's not necessarily a treatment. A treatment is something that's much different. In our textbook, the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes will say in the glossary, treatment is the time, the art, the method. Ridding this thing, the negation, negativity from your mind. And you know, time, art, and method. Does an affirmation do that always?
No.
So a treatment is born out of a remembrance of the truth, where we came from, born and born again. A treatment comes from a remembrance of who and what you are. A treatment is you sitting with you and coming into a quiet place where you know the truth. And you know the truth vibrantly, electrifyingly. You're one with it. You can sense it. You can feel it. You know it is. You know God is, and you know that God is in you as you operating through you. And then you speak. Born out of that recognition of who and what you are. Born and born again. That recognition. Then you speak. You don't ask for anything really. What you do is you acknowledge that you are supplied and you're supported and you're loved in life. And life loves you and you love life and all the universe is wooing you. You speak that because that's all absolutely, completely true. And whatever comes up for you in that process, unlike love, light, wisdom, power, and beauty, is your opportunity right then and there for healing. The treatment process is powerful, powerful, powerful. Whatever comes up, it's unlike God in that process, is your opportunity for clarification and clearing, not run away. Some of my friends here get too busy for this. Back in my days of teaching the Course in Miracles, not teaching, being a participant, we would call that ego or egoer. You know, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to feel or deal. I know. I reached a certain point in my life where there's a lot more time behind me probably than ahead of me. And I want to live my life like Aunt Denise. I want to live it in connection. You just pick up the phone and say hello. I want to drop the stories from the Course in Miracles. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. There's nothing to defend. No position that's sacred to hold on. Positions are ridiculous. Call it right, call it wrong. I mean, that's a very slick song. Another story. Many stories. We are what? We are practitioners. We're here to behold life and light and know it and see it and practice it. We're here to lift people out of the stories of lack and limitation, to remind them of the greater ideas. This is a teaching of greater ideas. This is a teaching to remind you of the truth, that you are supplied, supported, loved always in every moment. Each and every instant is for giving. Each and every moment is for giving. Play with those ideas. Every moment is sacred, and every one is for giving. It's been a pleasure to see everybody today. Thank you. So it is.